We're coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the stories making headlines.
But late is never a bad start. In Africa, my beginning, and Africa, my ending.
Tributes continue to pour in following the passing of award-winning television and theatre star Presley. President Ramaphosa says his administration continues to ensure that those previously excluded are given the opportunity to partake in the South African economy. And the Department of Transport in KwaZulu-Natal is to launch a full investigation into the bus crash at Otongati in Durban, which claimed the lives of 3 commuters. Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. A pleasure it is to be in your company this evening. I am Paulette Nell. Let's start first with this. The family of the late renowned actor Presley has been left devastated by his passing. Artist agency MLA that represented the icon affectionately known as Kobrizi confirmed that he died at the age of 40. This after the news broke on social media this morning. Choniagai rose to prominence for his starring role in Tsotsi, which won the Academy Award for Foreign Language Film at the 78th Academy Awards. He played many roles that expressed different characters in several series and films. Choniagai was born in Mahikeng in the Northwest on 19 October 1984, where he kick-started his career by attending children drama classes and acting at the tender age of 10 at the Mabana Arts, Culture and Sports Foundation. Meanwhile, the country's entertainment industry is shattered over the passing of the legendary actor.
Iconic star who emerged from the dusty streets of Motlhabeng village in Mahikeng rose to international fame in the movie called Tsotsi in 2005. This movie won an Academy Award for Foreign Language Film. That is before he got his role at a well-known telenovela, The River, that birthed his alias name Kobrizi or Mokweba. Some of the local artists he worked with are reeling in shock over his death.
Presley was a very, very good guy. He was very creative and stuff. He used to accommodate everyone in our sector. We really learned a lot from him.
Presley's passing came as a shock. It shattered our hearts as we heard of the news in the morning.
Some community members in Mahikeng say Choniagai will be remembered for his excellent artistic journey.
May his soul rest in peace. Brayaka Kobrizi wali easy. We love you Karimo Maftown Bruaka.
Because of the various awards that has accumulated, from the Oscars to the Horn Awards of the SAFTAs and many other awards, young people would be inspired by his presence, and young people looked up to him.
But late is never a bad start. In Africa, my beginning, and Africa, my ending.
Tabang Murutwa, SABC News, Mahikeng.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on the private sector to augment the 1 trillion rand to be spent on infrastructure by the government. He was delivering the keynote address at the 2025 Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium of South Africa in Cape Town.
Fresh from his trip from the United States after meeting President Donald Trump, the president began his address on a lighter note as he recalled how President Trump played him a video of EFF leader Julius Malema singing "Kill the Poor." And it was time to address the business of the day. He called on business to partner with government on infrastructure development.
So with the 1 trillion rand that the minister has announced, I want us to quadruple it. I want 4 trillion rand. And the other 3 trillion rand must come from you as the private sector.
The president says infrastructure development has multiplier effects, hence it is government's fastest growing budget item.
So good infrastructure will boost trade as well and will reduce the cost of doing business. This is essential as we open up to the advent of the African Continental Free Trade Area, as this will enable us to trade with ease with our sister countries on the continent, representing a market of 1.3 trillion rand.
Ulelani Philip, SABC News, Cape Town.
In addition, the president says engagements between the United States and South Africa have begun. Responding to questions in the National Assembly today, Ramaphosa said he believes that South Africa has achieved the objectives of the working trip to the United States last week.
President Cyril Ramaphosa says it was imperative for South Africa to reset its ties with the United States. He said the meeting was necessary because there had been a period when the two countries were not engaging.
The second objective was to set up a process of engagement between the United States and South Africa. There had hitherto been a process of disengaging, where we were no longer really engaging at a government level to deal with issues that governments normally deal with on an ongoing basis. And we wanted to engage on tariffs, on investments, and related matters.
On strengthening the capacity of the state, Ramaphosa said the GNU is committed to economic growth.
We've got tons and reams and pages of regulations for everything. In the 7th administration, the process has to be every department must look at its regulatory framework. And those regulations that militate against growth, those regulations that impede our growth movement forward quickly, should be reviewed.
The issue of social cohesion and racial classifications in the country was raised. Some MPs said that more than 3 decades after the fall of apartheid, inherited race-based terminology needs to be done away with. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.
Welcome back. Let's continue with this. President Cyril Ramaphosa has defended the chant, "Kill the Boer, kill the farmer," which has not been deemed hate speech by the courts. Ramaphosa didn't defend the chant during his meeting with US President Donald Trump last week, but stated that it is not government policy. EFF leader Julius Malema slammed Ramaphosa for failing to stand up to Trump when he referred to the chant as a call for genocide against white farmers.
Shoot to kill! Yamazon! Kill the poor, the farmer!
The Lion of the North, Peter Mokaba, the originator of Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer chant that Julius Malema has become to be synonymous of in current contemporary politics.
The poor, the farmer! Kill the poor, the farmer!
The political chant caused a stir globally when US President Donald Trump played videos of EFF leader Julius Malema chanting to President Cyril Ramaphosa as evidence of white genocide in South Africa.
That nonsense that Trump did in America will never do that nonsense in my presence, because I will confront him here and there with the facts. Ramaphosa could not present the facts in front of Donald Trump. You've got a coward president.
Former President Thabo Mbeki defended the chant during the Truth and Reconciliation Commission hearings, stating that the chant was not meant literally, but as a figure of speech against an oppressive system.
It's unchanged. I mean, that thing is a chant. It's a chant. It was a chant during the days of struggle. And chants of that kind in our tradition, in the African tradition, you don't take it literally.
African courts ruled that this particular chant is a political literature and does not amount to hate speech at all.
It's not a matter where we need to be instructed by anyone that go and arrest this one. We are a very proud sovereign country that has its own laws, that has its own processes, and we take into account what the Constitutional Court also decided.
We don't buy that. This is dangerous. That is why we will fight to the bitter end against this.
Samke Lamasego, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The Department of Transport in KwaZulu-Natal is to launch a full investigation into the bus crash at Otongati, north of Durban, which claimed the lives of 3 commuters. 6 other passengers were seriously injured and 9 sustained light injuries when the bus they were traveling in crashed through a barrier on the R102 and plummeted down an embankment. There are allegations that speeding and a brake failure could have led to the crash. The bus was transporting workers from Babrizi outside Otongati to a local factory just after 6 this morning. Rescuers worked for 2 hours to free the passenger, who was rushed to hospital in a critical condition. Thank you for staying with us. Now on to this. Residents of Valencia in Ado are still outraged about the murder of one of their own, allegedly at the hands of foreign nationals. Retaliation actions have led to the death of 3 foreign nationals. Meetings between the municipality and the community have not borne any success, as the locals do not want the foreign nationals to return to their community.
Desperation was written on the faces of foreign nationals as they vacated the police station premises to gather outside. These foreign nationals are stranded, and some with children as young as 6 months old. Residents say this murder was the last straw for them, as there have been conflicts between them and the foreign nationals for over 5 years. The foreign nationals are seeking aid from the municipality as they have no money to leave the country.
We are struggling now because they said we must go. Where? We want a place to stay now.
As the situation remains tense, police continue to maintain a heavy presence in the area.
There are arrangements that are being made to accommodate the stranded foreign nationals. Most of them have been accommodated in interim shelters outside of Ado. Police have also placed a team of detectives to work on the cases that were opened.
The Premier of the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mabuyane, is calling on all residents to work with law enforcement agencies to ensure that justice is served.
Government urges communities to fully cooperate with the law enforcement officers to ensure that justice is served.
A church in Gqeberha will accommodate some of the foreign nationals, while the municipality and foreign national leaders find a way forward. Nandi Pablaki, SABC News, Ado.
9.8 million households in South Africa benefit from social grants. This is due to salaries as a source of income declining. According to Stats SA, the percentage of households that consider social grants as their main source of income increased steadily from 21.3% in 2009 to 28.8% in 2020, before falling back to 23.8% in 2024.
More and more South Africans depend on and or benefit from social grants. This is due to the high unemployment rate in the country. Currently, South Africa's official unemployment rate stands at 32.9%. According to Stats SA, the percentage of individuals who benefited from social grants increased from 12.8% in 2002 to 40.1% in 2024. Statistician General Risinga Maluleke says the percentage of households that considered social grants as their main source of income increased steadily between the years 2009 and 2020.
The percentage of households that considered social grants as their main source of income increased steadily from 21.3% in 2009 to 28.8% in 2020, before falling back to 23.8% in 2024. We will remember that in 2020, that is the year that we had COVID, and measures were put in place by government to provide grants that would cushion members of the public from loss of income.
Maluleke says that there's been an improvement in ensuring that most South African households have access to electricity. However, this data does not show whether these households have legal access or not.
When we look at the 77.3% of electricity nationally as a main source of energy for cooking, we could see that provinces like Limpopo were sitting at 34.3%, and of course 16.7% of households in Mpumalanga continued to use wood for cooking.
The Stats SA household survey data also shows that 3/4 of South Africans consult public clinics and hospitals, while others have access to private healthcare facilities. Nompumelelo Siziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Sharks captain Ebenetsi Beth says that his side has finally found their feet in the United Rugby Championship. It has taken until the 4th season of their participation in the tournament, but the Sharks are confident they have learned how to win the tight encounters.
The Sharks are preparing in earnest for what they hope will be a good run in the United Rugby Championship, and one that will justify their superstar billing.
The playoffs can be quite a tight affair. We are used to it by now, and I think maybe last season when we ended, 12th or 13th, we lost the tight ones, and this year we turn around and we're actually winning them, and that's the difference.
The Sharks will have to be all in against a side like Munster, who won the URC 2 seasons ago away from home, and who also felled the mighty La Rochelle in the Champions Cup this season away from home in a knockout game.
We know Munster, I think 2 seasons ago, I think they played a semi away and a final away. I'm not sure if they played a quarter away as well. So they are used to playoff success and winning away from home in knockout games, which are the most important. Everything you've done before now doesn't really count.
The captain of the Sharks is happy that his side has finally got their act together in the URC. And they have also given themselves the best chance of performing in the knockout rounds on familiar ground.
That's the first time we're having a quarter, so it's actually one of our best URCs yet.
After losing to Leinster in Durban in round 14, the Sharks went on a 4-game winning run, which included big away wins in Edinburgh and Ulster. That form got them to a 3rd place finish and a home quarter-final. And now the real work begins against a very capable Munster outfit. Simon Burke, SABC News.
Mamelodi Sundowns are gearing up for the FIFA Club World Cup to be staged in the United States next month. This will be their 2nd Club World Cup in the club's history after becoming the first African side to play in the event back in 2016. But there's a big hurdle the club is facing ahead of the FIFA Club World Cup.
Mamelodi Sundowns are on a record-breaking streak in local football. Sundowns became the first club to win the Premier Soccer League title 8 times in a row, and they have won the league a record 15 times in the PSL era. The Pretoria-based club also became the first African club to play in the FIFA Club World Cup, and they make a return to the prestigious global competition after 9 years, alongside 3 other African footballing giants, Al Ahly, Esperance and Wydad Casablanca. Sundowns chairman Tlhophi Motsepe says the aim as a club is to continue reaching for the stars.
An exciting day to announce a wonderful partnership, but it can be sometimes challenging to separate celebrating and concentrating, because of course we have a very, very important task to do this Sunday. But today was very important as well, because it's a milestone moment in the club's history.
Only 3 players will be making a return to the FIFA Club World Cup for the 2nd time. They are Sundowns captain Themba Zwane, utility player Tapelo Morena, and veteran goalkeeper Dennis Onyango. He says they have already shared valuable lessons learned in 2016 with the rest of the team.
Being the first South African club to be at the FIFA Club World Cup in Japan
in 2016, and of course going back in 2025, it's amazing. And for me, it's a dream come true to be at the Club World Cup for the second time.
Sundowns have qualified for the 2025 FIFA World Cup by virtue of being the second best ranked team on the African continent behind Al Ahly in the last 4 years. Cyril Ramaphosa, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Well, with that, it's now time to see what the weather has in store for us. Stay tuned.
A very good evening to you. Expect clear skies in the Cape Town region tonight, northwards up the west coast of the country. But some partly cloudy skies are expected through the southern parts of the Western Cape in towards the Eastern Cape, where scattered showers are expected along the coastline and some isolated showers through the interior parts. We've got isolated showers for the KwaZulu-Natal coastal regions this evening, but otherwise it'll be clear and cold through the Free State in towards Gauteng, and another sunny day is expected on Wednesday, although the temperatures will only be in the high teens throughout Gauteng. Whilst we see clear conditions returning to the eastern coast of South Africa, fog patches are expected in the morning, and then ahead of a cold front, we're expecting some rainfall in Cape Town. That's isolated showers throughout the morning, becoming scattered showers later in the day. Ahead towards some alerts for tomorrow. Be on the lookout as that cold front approaches for damaging winds along the Cape Peninsula, as well as through the interior of the Eastern Cape, where it is going to be dry, and that means fault fires could be possible. Makanda down to 11 tonight. Cape Town the same. Bloemfontein dropping to 1. Bethlehem and Johannesburg both down to 2 degrees overnight. Pretoria dropping to 6 degrees, while the east coast of the country is expecting low to mid-teens from Richards Bay southwards in towards Durban. Durban on Wednesday afternoon up to 23 degrees. Cape Gqeberha up to a warm 30 degrees. That's ahead of the cold front. East London 28. Cape Town up to 28. Daar 23 tomorrow. Bloemfontein 20 under sunny skies. Johannesburg and Bethlehem both up to 17. That's under sunny conditions on Wednesday. And then ahead towards Thursday, that cold front bringing with it a drop in temperatures for the Western Cape. Isolated showers are expected. Ahead of it, we've got partly cloudy conditions for the Eastern Cape. Cool temperatures prevailing. Slightly warmer on the northern parts of our east coast, but it remains cool to cold through the northeastern and northern interiors of South Africa. That's it from me. Enjoy your evening.
That concludes our time together this evening. Much gratitude for joining us. Until next time, it's good night and God bless.